Hi everyone and welcome to The Learning Ladder. Today I thought I'd share with you our favourite books in 4th grade. So we've got a mixture of things that we've read, as in read alouds. We've got some non-fiction, things that she's read, some picture books, poem books, we've got everything. So let's just get started. There's Shadow over there. She's helping. So let's look at our favourite series first. So we have loved The Animals of Farthing Wood series. Now this is the whole selection that we have read. When he completed the series, he actually went back and wrote In the Beginning. I think it's called Farthingwood in the Beginning or something like that. We haven't read that one at all. I've only read The Animals of Farthingwood, the Farthingwood Collection 2, which has got Fox's Feud and the Fox Cub Bold in it, and then the Farthingwood Collection 3, which has got The Siege of Whitedale Park, In the Path of the Storm, and Battle for the Park. As I said, there is one, a prequel at the beginning. I haven't read that one. There's been mixed reviews about that one, so we haven't read that one. I think mainly it was because he'd gone back at the end and wrote it. So I don't know, it wasn't maybe as fleshed out as people would have liked, I don't know, but I highly, highly, highly recommend this series. It's absolutely fantastic. The vocabulary is so rich. It is just an amazing story. Now, it deals with animals that have to leave their home due to man retaking the forest and building houses on it and everything else, so they have to find a new place to live. And Toad remembers about a nature reserve that he'd visited, so they all follow him and they go across on this massive adventure to get to what's called Whitedale Park, which is a nature reserve where they can live in peace and everything else. And they have so many adventures on the way in the first book. Now, it's not all nice and, things happen. There's roads, so, I'll leave that up to the imagination. So, there are some bits in it that, beware sensitive readers, but, that's life, isn't it? Unfortunately, that happens a lot. So I don't feel like it's, you shouldn't read it because of that. I think it's, that's the life cycle basically. But I think it's fantastic. Camaraderie between the animals, it's just amazing. I love that one. And then the Farthingwood Collection 2 is where they're already there in Whitedale Park and the adventures they have. I cried so hard at the end of this Fox Cub Bold book. It was just it's just so emotional. But definitely love that one. And then the Farthingwood Collection wraps us up. Collection 3 wraps up at the end, so they have some problems in the new reserve, not everything goes to plan. And then they have a battle for the park, as it says at the end. But it's just amazing. I can't recommend this series enough. Like I say, I haven't read the first one, which I think is called In the Beginning. I wouldn't recommend reading that first. I would recommend reading The Animals of Farthingwood first, then Collection 2, and then Collection 3. Or if you don't have the collection, you've got the individual books. It's Fox's Feud second, The Fox Cub Bold third, The Siege of Whitedale Park fourth, In the Path of the Storm fifth, and then Battle for the Park sixth. At some point, I will probably go back and read the In the Beginning, but we're happy with how it ended, so I don't really want to spoil it, particularly because the reviews weren't great on the first one. People just seem to suggest in the reviews that it was not fleshed out and everything else, and I think that often happens if you go back when you finish the series to the beginning, because you're trying to start at a neutral point and forget that everything else has happened. So sometimes I think your characters can lose a bit of their development because obviously you want to save it for the next book. So if you start with The Animals of Farthingwood, book 1, not 0.5, you will not go wrong. So we love this series so much. And I like the fact that they offered it as a bind up as well. You could buy them individually, but I decided to get it as a bind up. So we've got the 3 in 1, 2 in 1, and then just the first. So it's our favourite series of the year by far. Our favourite classics we read The Secret Garden, Alice in Adventures in Wonderland. Again, we've read this pretty much every year. We just love this book so much. And The Little Mermaid and Other Fairy Tales. These are all illustrated by Mina Lima, or Mina Lima, however you pronounce it. I just love these books. They are absolutely stunning, interactive and gorgeous versions of classics. They have little things that you can lift out, flaps and all kinds of stuff. Obviously you've got to be careful because it is paper. Well, they are sort of made of more thicker material, but they're just stunning. It just brings classics to life. Not that you need that, because classics speak volumes on their own, but I just think that those interactive elements are just fantastic. Highly recommend. We're reading this again, actually. This is the 3rd time this year we've read this one. We really just love the story Alice in Wonderland, but where she's actually growing, when she is drinking her potion, it's just spectacular. Can't recommend this series enough. The illustrated classics. It's hard to do one hand without exerting too much force, which I don't want to do because I want it to rip, but yes, they're just So amazing and interactive. Highly, highly recommend these versions. Some of the favourites that my daughter picked to show you that she's read this year: Behind the Legend Werewolves, Fact or Fiction You Decide. She really enjoys this series. There are multiple versions in this series. Obviously it's about werewolves. This one is dragons. She has this dragon game, and it's just really interested her so much in dragons. She's obsessed with them. She absolutely loves them so much. I know there's a dragon series. The name escapes me right now, but I've got that on her list for 5th grade. They have a sort of a graphic novel version and then a regular version. So I'm probably going to get a mixture of the both. So The Wind in the Willows graphic novel by Usborne. She really enjoys these Usborne graphic novel retellings of classics. The Golden Compass. She really enjoyed that one. And then she still really adores the science comics, and she'll just reread them because she just thinks they're fantastic and so educational. So we've got The Coral Reefs. This is another Wizard of Oz graphic novel that she really enjoyed, and the Alice in Wonderland. She loves science comic dogs. We've had this for several years, and again, it's all about genetics of dogs and all kinds of things, and she really, really enjoys that one. The science comic Brain, this was new to us this year, and she really enjoyed that. Plagues is an older one, but she still really enjoys that one. The Polar Bears, and the Digestive System was new for us this year, and she has really enjoyed that one too. Her non-fiction favourite has been the Bacteria book. She really loves going through this one and reading all about the different germs and everything else. Microbes. She has loved Where the Sidewalk Ends as a poetry book. They're just really funny. He's very creative, and he's just got away with words. So that's one of her favourites for poetry. As part of our morning basket / nighttime basket, we get it done when we did. These are 2 of the books that I picked this year, which she has loved. So we had The Lost Words. Basically, this is a book that's compiled all the words that were removed from the dictionary, and it's presented them beautifully. It goes through all the different words. Amazing pictures in here. And we've really enjoyed this one as part of our morning time, and the little poems that go with. And we've also really enjoyed Tiger, Tiger Burning Bright. So that's an animal poem for every day of the year. Again, this is something we do in the morning, and these have been really fun, really enjoyable. We have also really enjoyed the Tales of Amazing Animal Heroes, Real Life Stories of Animal Bravery. It's great to hear how amazing, not that we don't know that already, but how amazing animals are and how they have such a great impact on us. Tremendous impact, and saved many lives in some of these cases. It's just a really interesting read, as is this one. And we've already been reading this, but a lot. I want to go back and do it again once we start our World War II and World War One in 5th grade, because it talks a lot about animals that have saved people during the wars, and also other things as well, other times in history where there's been disasters. And this is a fantastic book. Definitely recommend this one too. So that one is The Wildlife, 50 Extraordinary Animals That Made History. I'll link everything below. She has really enjoyed the DK water cycle and life cycles. I often just find her sitting there reading them by herself. They're so amazingly presented. All the different cycles of not just animals, but we've got space, Earth, planets, plants, animals. It's just an amazing, fabulous resource and reference book. Life cycle of a volcano. And then the water cycles as well. Again, this has got water on Earth, using water, life in water, and water in humans. For vocabulary, she has really enjoyed doing the Storyteller's Word a Day. She looks forward to this, finding out what the new word is. So it'll have it here, it'll tell you what part of speech it is, what it means, and then on the other side it'll tell you synonyms, word pairs that you can use. It tells you what puts it in a sentence basically, and then starts a little story prompt for you. So really, she has really enjoyed this book, and I definitely want to get the next one, Volume 2, for next year. Some of her favourite picture books, The Arthur and the Golden Rope. She has really enjoyed this one. This one is about a little boy who is in his in a library, and he basically finds all these books from the Brownstones mythical collection. It tells of Vikings and adventure and everything else, and he starts to go on a little quest. She's really enjoyed that one. And I'll show you what it's like inside. The Gallery of Cats. This is such a great book. She loves this one. And basically it'll go through different paintings, and then it tells a little story with the cat coming out of the painting usually, or having some involvement in the painting. These are all obviously famous paintings. It's just a great book. Definitely recommend this one. There's Vincent. She still adores the You Choose books. If you've never seen any of these before, there's several in the collection. So it's You Choose Imagination. There is You Choose Your Dreams, You Choose in Space. And it just gives them a little prompt and then something to choose on the page. And there's so many ways you can expand it, and you can use it for storytelling. So it's a way to use, sort of your story dice, I guess, an alternative. So, you can create a scene, a setting, a problem, put different characters into your story. They're just fantastic resources. We really enjoy the You Choose books. We have really enjoyed the Explore books this year. We have been using them for Journey Through Time, or Journal Through Time, our history curriculum, and we have been through ancient Egypt, ancient Greece, and we're going through ancient Rome currently, and these are just fantastic, absolutely amazing resources. Go through all the different times, important things to consider, facts and figures. There's a little project in there, and they're great if you're doing any kind of notebooking for your history. We have really loved the DK Knowledge Encyclopedia of History. This is just such a fantastic reference book. We've got the split into the different periods of time. So we've got the ancient, medieval, revolution, exploration, modern world. Absolutely fantastic reference book. What's Where in the World Planet Earth as You've Never Seen It Before. This is another one of our favourites. I love how it's 3D. Goes through several different topics. As I said, it's great again for notebooking. If they've got a particular interest. So we've got land, sea and air, living world, people and planets, engineering and technology, history and culture. This is one of the regulars in our history curriculum. What happened when in the world, history as you've never seen it before. Again, this goes through the different time periods. And again, they're 3D. We really enjoyed How Your Body Works. We used this when we were doing human biology. This is an Osborne Lift the Flap one. Again, fantastic resource to have. The DK Knowledge Encyclopedia of Animals. This is just an amazing reference book for science. So let's show you the table of contents. So we've got invertebrates, fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds and mammals. And the pictures are just absolutely fantastic. Just amazing reference. Really love this book so much. And it'll grow with your child as well. You can use this for years to come. And the last one I have to show you today, although there are many more I could, I tried to narrow it down, are the incredible ecosystems of planet Earth. Again, absolutely fantastic resource. And this is split into continents. Sorry, my cat desperately wants to come in and jump all over the books. So those are some of our favourites for 4th grade. So thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll link everything below that I can. See you soon.